Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Be Divine Minded. It is your girl, Goddess Fumi, or you can call me Jennifer because that's what my mama named me. So today's video, I am going to share with you guys why I love journaling and what prompted me to create the Be Divine Minded Journal Book. There's a quote that reads, "Journaling is like whispering to oneself about oneself." That quote was given to us by Mina Murray. And that quote to me is super on point with why I love journaling. I wanted to share it all with you guys. As you know, I always share with you guys things that I learned, things that I'm doing, in hopes that we all can be divine minded. So if you're interested in talking about journaling, then continue watching this video. If you're new here, please subscribe. Welcome to the Be Divine Minded family. And if you are a returning subscriber, I love you all and thank you so much for rocking with me. So let's get to the video.
My deepest apologies. Let me introduce myself properly.
All right, so like I said in the intro, journaling for me is a way to fully and wholeheartedly express myself. Like, I don't know about y'all, but my mind is seriously all over the place. And it's so many things that go through my mind throughout the day, and journaling has always been something that I've had a passion for. I just didn't realize it. I've always kept a notebook or a scrapbook or something to write things down, to keep a note of the things that I'm thinking and what I'm going through at that moment. Even as a little girl, I've always had a diary. Even though I was not consistent with writing on a regular basis, it's still something that I've always had, y'all. Like, these are just the journals that I had that I've been carrying for like the last 4 or 5 years, especially during my search to find God and the beginning of my spiritual journey. They're in my purse or in my book bag or whatever, one in my car, one in my room. I just always keep notebooks and journals. It's really helped me along my spiritual journey because I get to go back, and this is one of the best reasons why I love journaling. I love to go back and see where my mindset was at that particular time or what I was feeling going through those certain experiences. For me, journaling has truly been a form of therapy, going back and just reading the things that you've been through and how you were feeling and behaving and, thinking at certain points in your life. Y'all, like, I just be looking like, did I really think like this or did I really feel this way? During my journey, I've seen so much growth, especially going back looking at my old journals. And you can even see this on Facebook. Facebook shows you what you posted, this day last year or a few years ago. And you can truly see the things that you write and how your mindset was at those particular times. And you'll see the things that you have changed. Okay, so journaling for me is just super therapeutic. One of the biggest issues that I had with journaling was being consistent. I would go weeks or days or even months at a time writing in my journal. Most of the time I was writing during times where I was feeling sad or alone, or maybe, I was at work and I just had my journal with me and I just started scribbling things or thoughts. Sometimes I put different ideas or business plans in my journal. Journaling for me is not just to express yourself, but it's also a way to plan for your future and to basically write out a script of what you want your life to be. If you're like me and your mind is all over the place, you might feel that it's more beneficial to have a prompted or a guided journal. And that is what I am here presenting to you all today. When I first decided to do this journal book, it was mostly for me to keep all of the resources that I was learning on my spiritual journey, and as a way for me to set up a system so that I can get the stories and the information that I want to write at that period of my life. I want to get that information down. So I actually went on Google Documents and I wanted to set up a system, so that, this week I'll be writing about this. Next week I'll be writing about that. I was thinking to myself, what are some things that I need to write out? What are some things that my future self would want to know was going on with me at this time of my life? And so as I'm creating this project for myself, I really, truly started going through so much. It was like everything that I thought I knew and the things that I was learning, it's like I was being tested on, it's like life was giving me things to write about, okay? And, I truly believe that with every hardship that you go through, it is truly for a reason. You know, I was going through so much within this last couple months, and just creating this journal book while also going through the motions, y'all, it really helped me to put my all into this journal. It really helped me to know exactly what it is that I needed to write in this journal and the prompts that I needed to offer, so that if someone else is going through certain things on their spiritual journey, or they're learning about things, or they want to keep a book of resources, and also a book that was going to stand the test of time. You know, a lot of these journals, they're really flimsy. Like, this was one of the first journal books that I made. It's not something that can easily be saved throughout years and years of time. And one of my plans is to actually leave my journals for my children. I do still plan on having a daughter one day, and I always thought that it would be something beautiful to just leave behind my thoughts and the things that I've been through, so that they can learn from it themselves, okay? Actually creating a prompted journal book for myself really helped me. It helped me to be consistent. It helped me to be organized. You know, it helped me to make sure that I'm leaving valuable information for those that I want to leave it for, or for myself when I want to go back and read. And so that is what prompted me to create the Be Divine Minded Journal Book, y'all. If y'all know I love the moons. As you can see, that's the top of my bed. I love moons. I love spirituality. It is just always something that's been in my It's just always been something that I've had a passion for. And, you know, for me, when I first started my spiritual journey, I was completely lost. I didn't understand. I knew I had a fascination for herbs and crystals, and I wanted to be this healer and this earthy goddess, but I didn't understand how to go about doing it. And I was still also afraid, because I grew up under religion. I grew up under Christianity. And, you know, if you are like me and you guys grew up Christian, you know there's an underlying fear that comes with breaking the psychological slavery that is put on us as a people. And so it was easier for me to transition from religion to spiritual by taking all of the good things that I learned from religion. You know, I was a Christian at one point. I became Muslim. I studied with the Hebrew Israelites. You know, I started reading and studying on Buddhism and Hinduism. I've traveled. I learned about the Yoruba culture and the spiritual system of Ifa and hoodoo and voodoo. And, you know, it's just all interesting to me. But with everything, I take what resonates and I ditch what I don't. So what I did was, with this journal book, I gathered a bunch of information that resonated with me, that made sense to me. You know, I have resources in here that is useful, like crystals, herbs, setting up an altar, you know, learning about the divine energies, learning about the balancing of energies, how to do spiritual baths, speak on, you know, just the relationship with your mother and your father. I talk about the sun, I talk about the moon, and I share personal stories in here that help me to utilize the resources that I add in this book. And don't forget, it's still a journal book, so there's prompted guides in here that will help you. So when you're reading this book, you're going to get information and you're going to get resources, but it's also a space for you to record your very own spiritual journey. This is something that I think is more for beginners. This is information that's helped me in the beginning of my journey. Part 2 of Be Divine Minded Journal Book is being published right now, and that is where we get into shadow work and being disciplined and, you know, setting routines for ourselves. But this journal book right here is for you if you are interested in breaking free of psychological slavery of religion, and you just want to find yourself and learn how you are connected with God and all of the resources. Then this journal book is for you. This is my baby. Right now you can get it. I'll post the link in the description below. There's different prompts and different guides in here so that you will be able to write your own story and what you're learning. Also, I wanted to make sure that I made it nice and sturdy so that you can always leave this for your children, or you can just put it away in a nice keepsake box for yourself so that you can go back to and, you know, just read about your journey. I will link this in the description box. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you always remember to be divine minded.